As we enter a new era of health and well being, we've seen a surge in innovative practices and techniques that promote physical, mental, emotional wellness. From mushroom stacking to mindful drinking, the options for enhancing our health seem endless. Join us today as we dive into the latest trends and insights of how to live a healthier and happier life. Welcome back to the Women's Empowerment Podcast. I'm your host and healthy habit mentor, Valerie Levine. If you're new to the show, it's so wonderful to have you here with us today. And if you've been listening for a while, thank you so much for joining again for another episode. As you may already know, this podcast is all about health, wealth, and happiness. And because I believe empowering our lives truly begins with our tiny habits, routines, and rituals that are really these seeds and these small steps to helping us grow and expand and level up our transformation. Today's episode, we're going to be exploring the top wellness trends of the year. Whether you're a wellness enthusiast or you're just starting out through your wellness journey, this episode is packed with valuable information and expert advice. Let's explore the top wellness trends of the year together. Starting with number one, cold water therapy. I debated adding this trend to the list because I felt like this was a big trend last year. However, just in the last few weeks, I've noticed a lot more people I know in my own circle of health and wellness getting into more and more of these cold plunges or these cold water therapy. You might have even heard a past episode of this on the show with our special guest, Ashley Orr. I'm going to link to that in the show notes page for you, which is at valerielevinelife.com/227. Cold water therapy, also known as cold immersion or cold hydrotherapy, is the practice of using cold water to treat certain health conditions or activate certain health benefits. The water is typically around 15 degrees Celsius, which is about 59 Fahrenheit, but I can tell you firsthand that I've done it in much colder temperatures, like literal pieces, not even pieces, chunks, like huge chunks of ice are in the trough with me. While the practice itself has been around for several years, I want to say like hundreds of years, there definitely seems to be an increased trend in ice baths, cold showers, cold water immersion therapy in general. Some of the many incredible benefits include helping reduce muscle soreness, cool you down after your exercise, improve your immune system and metabolism, and even boost your mood. My own experience, it has helped me be more resilient and push myself a little harder in other areas of my life, such as my weight training workouts. I remind myself of the fact that if I can sit in a 3 degrees Celsius bathtub, I can push one more rep or two more reps or whatever the case may be. I'm going to link to an article that goes deeper into the other health benefits of cold therapy because we have a lot of different trends I want to talk about today. I wanted to share some links and some sources with you from my own research that perhaps you want to dive a little deeper into. 2023 wellness trend number two is mushroom stacking. I'm noticing this more and more as a big buzzword this year. The term was originally coined by mycologist Paul Stamets from the Netflix series Fantastic Fungi. It's all about combining medicinal mushrooms with other adaptogens and antioxidants to enhance their benefits. There is more awareness around the power of mushrooms, which is increasing the number of people looking at how to consume functional mushrooms to support aspects of health like sleep, immunity, memory, energy, skin, performance, libido, stress, and more. Here are some of the mushrooms we're seeing more of and their known benefits. Turkey tail, which is great for immunity, liver, and gut health. Chaga, immunity, energy, and skin. Lion's mane, focus, memory, digestion. Reishi for de-stressing, calm, immunity, and sleep. And cordyceps for energy, physical performance, and endurance. I have taken or tried a few of these mushrooms on their own and also in combination. And I don't know if I noticed a crazy difference in my health, but it certainly didn't make me feel worse by any means. My brother actually harvests chaga, and I do enjoy a warm cup of chaga. Because of this growing trend, you're probably seeing a lot more powders, tinctures, and blends of these mushrooms. It's worth looking into the quality and the sourcing of the product before purchasing or consuming. Our third wellness trend of the year is number three, micro workouts. And I also put here incidental exercise. When I was first reading or learning about this, I thought it was kind of funny, but then I rolled my eyes at myself because I was like, duh, this is a fantastic idea. Micro workouts are things like 1 minute dances or fitness challenges that you see popping up on Instagram and TikTok. It might seem like a 1 minute of jumping jacks or a quick set of push ups is meaningless, but that's the beauty of this trend. It's so bite sized and easy to do that people are actually doing it. And it's becoming a habit in people's everyday lives. I know people who have started a habit of doing 2 push ups after going to the bathroom and now can do several push ups no problem. Or someone who did a chin up every time they walked under their chin up bar to their bedroom. From one chin up every time they crossed this particular door frame to many, many chin ups over time. I feel like I laughed at this because I forget that a lot of people, or for a lot of people, fitness is not part of their everyday lives. And I should know better considering I'm a healthy habit coach, for goodness sakes. And funnily enough, I have totally done this before, especially when I was first learning about fitness and about working out back in high school. I used to do these little micro workouts. Now, I also wrote incidental exercise. And at first, when I was reading about this, I thought of this as something that happened unknowingly. However, it can be intentional. An example of incidental exercise would be parking your car at the far end of the parking lot so that you have to walk further to get to the entrance of the mall, thus helping you reach more steps and get more exercise and more movement in your day. In our modern world, we are surrounded by conveniences, so much so that sitting is the new smoking, so they say. As a Pilates instructor, I see this all the time. Our posture, our mobility, our alignment, it's lacking. It's bad. Almost every person who comes into the studio leaves feeling more energized and more mobile than when they came in. And yet, even with all these conveniences, we somehow are busier than ever in life. And I'm going to quote people I hear all the time: who has time for a daily workout? For the sake of today's topic, I'm not going to go deep into the whole time management and priorities debate, but I will say that incidental exercise could be the solution to the lack of time excuse problem. So take more trips in with the groceries, get your heart rate up, get your legs moving, walk to the mailbox instead of driving by it on your way home from work. What are some of the ways that you can think of getting those micro workouts or those cheeky exercises into your day? I'd love to hear more in the comments of this YouTube video, or you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'm at Val Levine Life. Now, it might be because I've been in the health and wellness industry for a very long time, but some of these trends don't seem as new to me, like number four, the gut brain connection. There is so much research being shared about how important the role of our gut and microbiome plays on our mental, emotional, and physical health. I've got to say, my life changed when I read the book Gut, The Inside Story of Your Body's Most Underrated Organ. And 100%, I'm linking this in the show notes page for you at valerielevinelife.com/227. I loved this book so much, and it truly gave me this deeper awareness of how our gut and our brain have a direct connection on each other. For example, the thought of eating can release the stomach's juices even before the food gets there. And the research is now showing that this communication goes both ways, to the point where good gut health and the microbiota, which is the bacterial population that lives in the intestine, can help regulate brain activity and calm anxiety. Pretty cool, eh? Many scientists are calling our gut our first brain and not our second brain anymore. So if you're interested in learning more about this, I highly recommend the book Gut that I mentioned. It's super informative. It's actually really funny, and they have some pictures in there too. Considering the topic, it's it's pretty good. It's pretty interesting. I'm pretty stoked about this next trend because I got really into it maybe 2 or 3 years ago. It's wellness trend number 5, sleep syncing. This is a practice of adjusting your sleep cycle to the rhythms of nature and aligning it with your circadian rhythm. I stumbled upon chronotypes, as they're called, defined by Google as a person's natural inclination with regard to the times of day when they prefer to sleep or when they are most alert or energetic. During the pandemic, I stumbled upon this and I learned about how my chronotype was described as the bear versus the wolf or the lion or the dolphin. And yes, my friend, I even read a very interesting book about this topic. It's called The Power of When Discover Your Chronotype. The chronology goes into specifics for basically every hour of the day, especially in this book, but the focus of this trend is on sleep. When we are able to sync our sleep with our chronotype, it gives us our optimal sleep schedule, which affects our energy, our digestion, our alertness, our hormones, and other aspects of our health. I was really excited to share this trend because even my Aura Ring is talking about chronotypes, specifically to sleep, and it shared my report with me every morning when the midpoint of my sleep was. The closer I can get to this midpoint, the more I'm aligned with my chronotype. You don't need an Aura Ring to do this practice, but if you did want an Aura Ring, I have a $40 to $50/euro coupon, depending on when you're watching this. It changes sometimes between $50 and $40 off. You can get the code in the comments or in the show notes page to this episode. And without the ring, if you're not using the ring for your chronology, the goal is to go to sleep and wake up around the same time every day and night. Now, obviously, it's not always possible to do this every single day at the exact same time, but we can definitely aim to get to bed and wake up within the hour every day. So for example, if you typically wake up at 6:30 a.m. on weekdays, your chronology will encourage you to get up no later than 7:30 a.m. on weekends. Sleeping in for longer can mess up your circadian rhythm. And I'm not saying never sleep in. Sometimes our body needs that extra sleep to recharge, but I am saying stay consistent with your bedtime and your wake up times. This is a huge part of sleep hygiene. Of all the trends I'm sharing with you today, this next one is the only one I haven't done yet. And I'm a little nervous about it because it's 2023 wellness trend number 6, mouth taping. Yeah. The first time I heard of this was from a recent podcast guest and breathwork practitioner, Eliza Butler. I don't think we talked about this specifically in the episode, like specifically about mouth taping, but we did talk about the power of breath work and the importance of breathing through your nose. This was episode 205 of the podcast. I'm going to link to it in the show notes for you. So, yes, mouth taping is literally taping your mouth shut at night. I did one of those like cartoon head shakes, like, ugh. And when I heard this and I blurted out, "What? Are you serious?" The reason for this practice is so that you are forcing yourself to breathe through your nose at night. Breathing through your nose, especially during sleep, has many health benefits, including humidifying the nasal passages, decreasing dental issues, including cavities and gum disease, and improved snoring or the severity of your sleep apnea. I feel like now is a good time to remind you that if there are any uncertainties you have about the trends I'm sharing, please know that they are not all for everyone, and perhaps you would like to consult your holistic healthcare practitioner for more advice based on your specific needs. On that note, I think I'll try this. I think I'll try it on a nap first with maybe my boyfriend awake near me just in case something goes wrong. But I do know a lot of people who swear by this, and I'm definitely seeing more of it as the year goes on. Moving on. Our 2023 wellness trend number 7 is mindful drinking. While I thought this was maybe because I'm in my early 30s and less people I know are drinking as much alcohol, I'm noticing this trend with people in their 20s as well. And maybe it is a generational thing because a lot of Gen Zs and millennials are very health conscious and maybe a little bit more sober curious or just drinking less and more mindfully in general. More restaurants, however, and more bars are offering mocktails or non alcoholic alternatives. And with the increase in mushrooms and adaptogenic drinks taking the spotlight, we're seeing more of this available too. My partner doesn't drink, and truthfully, I really only enjoy drinking tequila or champagne. So I'd rather have a fun, healthy alternative and skip the hangover. It's also definitely easier to drink less or more mindfully when the people around you are also practicing the same things. I actually really like that this is a trend or that it's trending more because really alcohol is a poison to our bodies. And I never regret not drinking, but I've often regretted drinking too much. So I've actually only had 2 alcoholic beverages this entire year, and it's already April, which I don't know. I don't think I've ever done that before. How about you? Are you a more mindful drinker? Are you like, "Screw that, I wanna drink. Don't put boundaries on me." That's cool too. Let me know. I'd love to hear more. There are a few more wellness trends that I want to share with you. And the next one is number 8, digital detox. Similar to how convenient everything is, a big part of that is technology, the technology that we have access to. We are more plugged in than ever before. And while there are lots of benefits to this digital connection, too much of anything comes at a cost, from neck pain to headaches to lack of energy or enthusiasm to being overstimulated by that technology. It's negatively affecting our health and well being. A digital detox doesn't have to be this dramatic display of tossing your technology, but instead limiting it or having some healthy boundaries in place. For example, turning off push notifications or the sounds, putting away your phone and technology during meals, designated tech free hours of the day or the week, making a no tech zone in areas of your house or rooms in your home, limiting yourself to one screen at a time, and spring cleaning your social media accounts. I used to do 24 hours every single week with no technology, no screens. I shouldn't say technology, I just didn't do any screens. And I really enjoyed it. And even though people thought I was a little bit crazy, now I aim to stay off tech for the first hour of the day and then the last 30 minutes of my day. And I leave my phone in another room when I'm eating. And I really like the idea of only one screen at a time because, damn, I am definitely scrolling my phone while the TV is on. And I gotta say, that is probably one of my worst habits right now. Don't love that. Our next wellness trend of the year is number 9, reformer Pilates. And before you ask, no, this is not an intentional plug of our incredibly amazing athletic reformer Pilates studio in downtown Burlington, Ontario called Exhale Pilates. But also thank you to TikTok and whichever influencers are doing reformer Pilates right now because the studio is really busy and Pilates is hashtag trending. For those of you who don't know, I am a reformer Pilates instructor and studio owner, and a reformer is an apparatus or machine used specifically for reformer Pilates. It combines traditional principles of movement from mat Pilates as well as the reformer machine. The machine has a foot bar, a carriage, pulleys, 5 springs with different tensions that can be adjusted, and our specific machines also have a tower apparatus with them, which is pretty unique to certain studios. It's a really incredible machine and it's an amazing practice. And our studio, Exhale Pilates, has a variety of classes that cater to different goals. When people are new to the studio, I like to explain how complementary reformer Pilates really is to anything else you're doing, whether that's a sedentary work from home setup or you're an Olympic athlete, like last week's guest of the podcast, Kia Nurse, who we met through the studio. We met through her Pilates practice, which is pretty incredible. There are many incredible benefits to regular reformer practice, including strengthening the core, improving flexibility, mobility, toning muscles, and so much more. Tell me in the comments of this video version of the podcast if you've ever done reformer Pilates before. And if you haven't, you definitely need to come check us out. Take a class with us. I would love to see you there. The second last trend we're going to talk about today is number 10, facial yoga or face yoga. I was actually joking about this today at the studio and saying that we should do face Pilates at Exhale. And maybe you'll see it on the schedule. I don't know yet. We have not discussed it. But essentially, face yoga or facial yoga is a combination of massage and exercises that stimulates the skin, the lymphatic system, and the muscles on the face. The technique is designed to soften and relax your face and help alleviate tension, stress, and worry. I have tried this trend, but I don't think for long enough to notice any major changes in my face or neck or shoulders, which is aimed to target these areas. However, according to my research, this is really part of a holistic routine and includes the following benefits. So, promoting healthy, glowing skin, firming and lifting the muscles under the skin, soothing the lines and wrinkles of the face. And with I would say, any of these wellness trends, especially that of exercise, consistency is going to play a big part in the results of face yoga, of reformer Pilates, of really all of these things. You can't just take one magic mushroom and, well, depending on the mushroom, you could be done after one. Anyway, last but not least, our final wellness trend of 2023 is number 11, women's wellness. Did this surprise you? It didn't really surprise me, but then again, maybe because I'm so deeply immersed in a lot of these practices and conversations that these trends didn't surprise me as much. While I would say, as a whole, people are definitely craving more connection and community this year, I can see this trend in women coming together in circle or ritual becoming more profound, specifically for women. However, I would just say connection is a trend everywhere, not just in wellness. There is power in healing as a group or coming together in different healing practices like yoga or Pilates, meditation, group therapy, and more. And I think people, and again, women especially, are really wanting this and needing people to relate to them or people to relate to and to sit in circle with and connect with. And it's funny because I actually used to host a lot of women's events, and it was a very small niche of people who were interested in these events. However, I think now if I shared them again, there would be more curiosity at the very least. What about you? Are you looking for women to share space with, to connect with, to heal with? Which of these 11 wellness trends do you think you're going to be practicing or wanting to start? What do you think of the trends? Are you into them? Are you yay? Are you nay? Let me know in the comments. Maybe I missed some trends that you would love to see. What would you add to this list? I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to know what you think. Share your thoughts in the comments of this video or send me a DM on Instagram at Val Levine Life.